beforehand, when you realized that you might have been the bad guys, but aren't bad guys, you decided to hear out Tarja and the predicament that you stand. Apparently, you kind of were the bad guys. There's no changing that now. But you decided to right your wrongs, learning that the people that you, let's say, were
Slaughtered.
helping were more inclined to do the bad than the good.
Oops.
Right.
You were the bad guys, but not bad guys. We're the bad guys.
Kinda. So with the mercenaries nearly all dead, Tarja and her employer are the only ones that stand in the way of these people. But seeing as you felt bad, well, most of you felt bad, Lit doesn't care one way or the other. But we'll help out the team. Decided to help out in this predicament where some of your team is, well, that's for them to decide. But the team here and now are taking care of this situation. Locke looks towards your team, and eventually she does discover that Lizzie, the giant Bahir, is no longer here. One of you probably lied to her that it ran loose and free into the forest to live out its glory days. Tarja immediately cut that down and told her the truth. She was upset for a while, but, well, there's too much to deal with right now.
On the upside, we have bubblegum.
She's not exactly sure who you're talking about, but nods in agreement.
The unicorn.
I guess you do kind of look like a bubblegum. No indication whatsoever that it looks like a bubblegum.
Look, Klee and Violet called it bubblegum. We didn't know the name, so we called it bubblegum.
I did. It is bubblegum.
Oh,
It's bubblegum.
I mean, the names I know, are Thomas. She looks towards the giant tree creature.
Thomas.
The tank engine.
Thomas is a-
Da 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 da.
Shut up!
Renaming him. This is, Patrick. Not the star.
Star.
Wait, who's Patrick? The tree or?
Revan. The
Oh.
unicorn. Thomas. The giant steel creature. And there was Lizzie, but yeah. She just says. Right. Anyways, is there anything you need to know before something happens? They seem to be gathering their forces, but it shouldn't be more than a handful of people. Maybe 6, maybe 7.
How good of a guy? You said, is that? I kind of look at what's her name again? The middle one who we just killed.
Tarja.
Tarja. Tarja, you said the iron person thing. I don't know. Thomas, was a guard thing.
No, don't let him go up front. I have a plan.
We could.
Potentially, but I have yet to train that one.
Well, if it goes bad, we might need to use Thomas. Maybe.
Gosh.
Also, we could potentially put these two, referring to the shot up here, in that bag with Pumpkin.
Lit looks towards you. What? Revan and Patrick could not fit in this small bag.
You fit a demon lord in it.
What's your point?
They could easily fit in that bag.
Oh no, the demon lord was more spiritual. These things are actual manifestations of matter.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say we could, potentially say that someone freed them and they're gone.
Yeah, well. Okay, I have a plan. There's only one entrance, right?
Yep.
Everyone move back.
Aggie!
How far exactly do we have to move?
Everyone. Wait.
Wait, would it hit Thomas?
No, it will.
I mean, not Thomas. Patrick.
Need a star.
Oh shit, we need to Patrick.
You could move the point of impact a bit further away so it doesn't hit.
No. I can't. I have to have it in the doorway so it triggers the thing.
Move, Patrick!
You hear Law conversing with Patrick. She says something, you can't understand it. It's actually in his language. The creature or entity nods. She unlocks the cage. They come out and they walk to the south.
Oh,
We need to ship
Bye,
bubblegum
Patrick.
too.
when we're done, could you teach me that language?
Maybe. It might take some time, though.
I will. We'll discuss this maybe later. I'll pay you if it helps.
Money won't help you learn the language.
As in for compensation for teaching.
No, I don't care. It's just it'll take a lot of time.
And we don't have time.
Fair enough.
Everyone move 5 feet back. And we need to free bubblegum as well, because it'll hit her as well.
Can bubblegum come out of cage?
I'll ask.
Okay.
She goes over to Bubblegum. This time you actually see her speaking Celestial. If you know it. If not, she speaks in a strange, angelic language.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Then the horse comes out. Well, the unicorn comes out. Comes over here. And gets in the last cage.
Nice. Okay. Now, I'm gonna fly up to the entrance, or like run up. Wait. I'm just moving. Fuck.
Do you want me to hex them? Question mark.
No, not yet. And I'm gonna cast Symbol
Ooh.
right at, like in the doorway. So it's gonna be a 60-foot radius ball that affects that's gonna be affected by the spell
Oh.
once it's triggered. And I want it to be the symbol of death.
Oh, okay. Do they have to make a saving throw?
They do. Once they trigger that.
Crinkle, 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 crinkle.
I'm trying to eat brownie, King.
Okay. What save do they have to make, Michaela?
They don't have to do it now.
Oh well, tell me so that way I can prepare the hex.
Con.
Gotcha.
60 feet from it.
Yeah, 60 feet. So wait, it's gonna be the point where. Yeah, this is where. Yeah.
Cleat and Violet, you need to move back.
Radius. Yeah, I mean, I'm still there. Violet needs to.
I'm gonna move. Whee!
Gloopy needs to move.
Gimme!
No.
I will put you back in the
Libby's fine.
fucking basket.
Gloopy's fine. Okay.
Okay.
Let's try and be peaceful, but just tell them, hey, you come through that door, you're fucked.
If you come
No,
through,
we're not telling them.
Okay, okay. Don't tell.
if you come through the door, you will face Gloopy.
That's one way of doing things.
Mm.
We're not
Locke
known
says-
for doing it the right way. We're known for doing it the how the fuck does this work way.
Okay.
We want to find another bit of water.
Hmm?
Do you want to find another pit of water you can jump into?
Maybe if it actually can be swam in? I do need to practice some my swimming.
Violet is preparing to throw plushies at enemies.
Violet, can you even throw that far?
Who's to say? Time passes and eventually people begin to knock at the door. Does anyone go to try to open it? It's not locked, they just knocked.
Hello?
If we go in there, we're affected by that thing,
No.
right, Michaela?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Once it's triggered, the entire area is affected.
No one answered the door.
I'm getting ready to. What's it called? Hold action hex? Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to cast.
Alright. Since no one answered it, they begin to open the door. You see one of them with the crow. Well, you don't see them, but you see that a crowbar extends out from between the doors and begins to pry it open. Soon enough, it unhinges, latches open, and the 7 entity creatures, humanoids, people, depends on how well you define people. For some of you, apparently it's anyone with a weapon that can stab you.
Come at me, bro.
Step inside.
Fight me.
So how does it work
They-
again, Michaela?
So
they've already
they've
dropped it.
triggered my little glyph thing. Each target must make a Constitution saving throw, taking 10d10 necrotic damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful save.
Could the first person that come in, I cast hex? Yes or no?
I guess.
Alright, so the very first person who comes through the door gets hex. Then anyone who's in 5 feet of the first person who came into that thing gets maddening hex. So, anyone who was in 5 feet of her at all, or them, they have disadvantage on Constitution saving throws.
Okay. The first person that came in was this man in silver armor. Then the other 2 flanking him was this man with a scythe-shaped head, and the woman with the tattoo on her face. Everyone else came in 10 feet behind them, but for making things simpler, it looks as if they all came in at the exact same time.
Okay.
But yeah, all of them have that, and now all must make a con save of something.
18.
Okay. Most of them have a +2, except for 2 of them.
Don't forget the disadvantage ones, or those are the disadvantage ones.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Those are fair.
Oh!
Alright, here are the disadvantage one.
Oh, thank
That's one of them. Here's another one.
Oh fuck.
Half-shaved man passes. And here's the last one. Yeah, it's only the half-shaved man passes.
Now let me roll. Okay. Oh, that's a shit roll.
That is pretty shit.
I mean, it's
It's the average.
That's average.
It's a little bit better
Yeah.
than the average, based
Yeah.
on math. As soon as they step in, you just hear the man with the half-shaven head look towards you. I know there's a specific style you call this, but I honestly don't remember it. And I am not going to bother to look. The man comes in. I'm going to call it a mohawk, even though it's not. I'm going to say it is. It's just flat to one side. Semantics. Comes inside. Everyone else steps in forwards. You maddeningly hex and then hex these people in front. And then he states, well, and then immediately Cleese blows them up. 53 points of damage. You do see that the goblinoid, humanoid, is near death's door. The elf is near death's door, indicated by the. I'll put the heart mark. Might as well go RPG on this. The woman with what seems to be tiefling features seems to be very hurt, very bloodied, but she is still alive. The woman next to the goblin with amber hair and a darker complexion does seem to be hurt, but she's stable. The man with the silver armor does seem to be hurt, but not so worn out. The mohawked man is the only one that's saved, so he got hurt, but unfortunately not as much as everyone else. The woman with silver hair, silver purple hair, with the star mark on her cheek, is hurt, but less than you would have liked. Just necrotic damage, right?
Yeah.
Less than what you have liked. As the smoke and plume leaves the area, the man with the mohawk then states, "Oh, well, now this is a surprise," as his companion begins to eat a bag of chips. "Do you mind?" He then gestures towards him with the open bag of chips. "You want some?" "No, I do not." Okay.
Can I have some?
What flavor are they?
He just tells you that they're vinegar and chip flavored, which makes no
Oh.
sense. The vinegar part you get, but the chip flavored is just him saying that they're chip flavored.
So
What-
it's
what are
just
they sugar
vinegar,
Chips.
vinegar and potato.
He nods. You
Can I
see
ask-
the mohawk man sigh. The man with silver armor was going to take a step forwards, but he stops him. Right then. It seems to me that you are completely aware of what's about to happen. Unfortunately, we were going to discreetly do things, paying the people that did this job, and then leaving with
Hello.
the creatures. It seems that that's no longer an option.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you post, I mean, you posted an ad that was basically false advertising.
Looks towards you and he simply states, well, yes and no. I didn't post that, the boss did. I'm just here to collect and to finish the job. Unfortunately, it's also a no. Everything on the parchment was true. You just didn't exactly know why we had them to begin with. To be
So-
fair, you could have just simply asked.
Yeah, we kind of fucked up, but you're not taking the animals, are we?
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's perfectly fine for you to say. But we're not exactly
Hey,
the
we
good
got this
guys.
You
We
are
can't-
literally like, do you not realize what just happened the second you stepped into the room? You don't have a chance.
Wait.
Hmm.
Hold on. We clearly have the upper advantage here. We have full health, you don't. So, how about we make this simple? You leave, say the animals were killed, and you killed us. Everyone goes away, no one dies, everyone is happy.
And you leave your
That's
chips.
not gonna happen.
These guys aren't moving. I just need to add turn order. Go ahead and roll persuasion, and it has to be high. They are not afraid of you more than they are afraid of their boss.
Ooh, persuasion. Boop. Boop. Boop, boop. I'm not looking.
Disadvantage.
How bad? Disadvantage?
This man.
Oh, by the way, that's for you.
Oh, fine.
Thank you.
Would the 24 worked, yes or no?
Disadvantage. You take the lowest one, which is 18.
I know, I'm just saying, would it have worked?
They might have heard you out more, but it might have stalled for time to give a more compelling speech than leave and say everyone died. It's not like he couldn't send more men to see what happened. Your compelling speech, which is compelling for most people, is not for them. Unfortunately, the Crime Syndicate, which if you want to explore more, I would suggest, well, I can't suggest a thing, but it also might lead to your doom. That being said, 18 is not enough to persuade them from not fearing their boss.
Come at me, blow.
Go ahead and roll turn order.
19!
Ta-da.
Okay. So, turn order starts. Mohawk Man is at the top. Then silver purple-haired woman. Yogg comes at third. I don't know why some of them have multiple. Man, did the turn order screw up? Yeah, it did.
Michaela, did you join?
Yeah,
I asked Michaela if she joined Meat Hole.
I'm here, yeah.
Okay. Add turn. Add turn. Add turn, and I'm just gonna do group turn so it doesn't screw up again. That'll be Locke's team. That'll be NPC. Good agents. That'll be NPC. Bad guys. And second group.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yes.
Bad guys. Thank you.
Yes.
Not saying it again. Mohawk Man. Mohawk Man and his team. Yogg. Cleve. Silver, purple-haired woman and her team. Violet, Locke, and Lit.
Hi.
Okay. Going with... Well, this is boss music, but going with boss music number 3.
I'm gonna win this.
It sounds like you're about to attack the Ninja Turtles. Immediately you see him bring out a cigarette or something adjacent in modern, non-modern history. Smokes it, puffs it, and then states, "All right then. Seems to me that we have a fight in hand." He then plumes the smoke in front of his face, and immediately you see him for a second, and then he vanishes in the smoke. In the
Why you
split
do that?
second he does that, however, a plume of smoke does appear in front of Lit's face. And then you
Fucker
see him
teleports.
punch Lit in the face.
Ooh.
However, you expect, oh, haha, he doesn't know who he's dealing with. Going against Lit, probably the strongest one outside of the strength Wen has with dealing with Lit. He's got nothing. No, he merely punches him back roughly... oh wow. 10 squares. 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. 1, 2. I could have just counted to 10, but decided to be a moron. He did steal a significant amount of damage. Not enough to kill him, but you can tell that Lit is... well, if he was at full health before, he's maybe at 75 to 80%.
What the fuck?
The other enemy agents then turn around and, almost in a rhythmic pattern to teamwork, which is surprising because you've never really dealt with teamwork before, begin to make a pincer-like movement. Yogg.
So they're up there, they haven't moved yet, right?
The enemy agents that have yet to attack have yet to attack, yes.
Where's the goblin?
The goblin now is next to Locke, roughly 5.5 feet away.
Huh. Alright. You said he was looking weaker than everyone else, right?
Yeah.
Well, Eldritch Blast that fucker. One sec, just need to check again what my attack should be. Okay, I'm happy.
I'm just gonna.
With the
just gonna
panic,
leave.
seeing Lit get punched back into the wall, you decide to go, oh no, I'm not going to. Then immediately you see him in front of your face and goes, yeah, let's not draw his ire. Just shoot this way, not really realizing where you're shooting, and you just hit the pillar next to the goblin.
Could I shoot 2 beams instead of 1 beam?
Nope.
No,
No, okay.
You
Fuck
it's
it.
specified.
Fuck.
Mhm.
Alright, and my turn. God damn.
Clean.
Hi. Alright, I'm gonna. Huh.
Do not get close to them. I have plan.
Okay. I am going to use Guiding Bolt on the goblin.
All right.
With third level spell slot. No, wait. Second level. Yeah. Let's go. Guiding.
That is it.
It's rolling. Give it a sec. Oh, that's a shit roll.
It's not super great, but it's okay. You managed to strike the goblin with a fiery blast. He does seem to be hurt, and with another small attack like that or something similar, maybe even something a little bit weaker, he would seem to go down, but he's still up, if barely.
Okay. So, Brittany, what's your armor AC?
My AC is only a 16.
How much?
16.
Okay, as a bonus action, I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on Kurt.
Yeah.
So you've got +2 bonus to your AC
Yeah.
for 10 minutes if they don't hit.
All right.
And that's it.
Enemy turn. The enemy looking at the environment and the situation at hand, you see that the woman with silver hair looks towards her team, gesturing towards positions and, well, saying something, but she's too far away to hear. Then immediately you see her touch the ground and meld with it. You do not know
Ew.
where she went, but the enemy agents then all split up from their own team. Cool. Most of them just once more do a almost in bird terminology. Ah man, I forgot the actual name in bird terminology. They all converge into a point similar to an arrow.
They scatter.
No.
Now, scattering
No.
would be further apart.
That's kind of why he said converge.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like when birds fly in a group and they're led by one person.
Formation!
Formation,
Something.
something like
I can't attack because Gloopy's there. Fuck. Gloopy, why'd you have to be there?
This is best boy.
Yeah, he might be best boy, but I can't do anything when Gloopy's there.
I mean, you can try.
Don't
Violet.
Hi. Okay. So, choose something. Eh. 1 second, my computer wants to be a dumbass. They all got really close and split up, so I can't use two. That sucks. Alright. I'm going to just attack. I cannot click on anyone. Who's the one that's close to me?
The closest one to you that you can see currently is the enemy agent leader, the man with the mohawk.
How far away is he?
15 feet. The next enemy agent is 15 feet to the left, and then they get further away from there.
Alright, I'm gonna attack the leader boy with firebolts.
All right.
Ta-da!
That just hit.
Oops, that's not right.
Very strong firebolt. That's still pretty good. For the enemy leader, you do strike him with fire. He doesn't seem to be hurt. He's no longer not feeling the pain. But he's near bloodied, not dead. A few good strikes like that will take him out, but that all depends on what you do next. Anything else, Violet?
No.
Alright. Charger comes up, aims ready, and goes straight for the formation of the Elven individual. Unfortunately for him. Unfortunately for you, though, she's only at half strength and half health. Wonder why. However, even with
dog.
half her potential, she is probably still stronger than most of you.
Yeah, she's the strongest one here.
Strong.
Strong with an R.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. Strong with a capital reverse R.
Oh.
She will try to strike with him with a hand axe. 32 does hit, and damage. She does do a good amount of damage. Striking straight towards him, she slinks in, and it does pierce his flesh. Much like the goblin, one more attack like that, and he will die. Which is great. Well, maybe not for them, but great for you. Locke then brings out her piece of paper and quill once more. The goblin systematically laughs, looks towards her, and in Goblin, which, if any of you speak it, which you probably don't, because apparently you guys know like 2 languages, and one of them's common.
I can read. If anyone writes it down, I understand every language, but no one wants to write.
Cause who's gonna write in the middle of a battle?
Locke is, apparently.
So I can technically read it.
They're speaking. She isn't writing what she's speaking down.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, I do know one. I know one language, but that one language never comes around.
Which is?
Aquin? The water one?
Aquin. Well, you're not in water.
Yeah, exactly.
And-
We've never seen anything that speaks that language.
And the one time you were in water, no one was around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, why?
Okay, then you guys just hear the goblin going. And then Locke, in her own voice, goes, Ara, sususuhan, hen ha. No idea what that means. But the goblin begins to laugh at her, pointing at the piece of paper. Probably the same way you guys thought it's weird that she's using a piece of paper as a weapon.
We have someone who fights with a book. I don't think we can judge.
Technically, he's casting spells from a book. Oh, you mean, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely true. Fair enough. She does write something down in this piece of parchment, which you can read. Do you have a past perception of 17?
No.
Which you can't see, however. But she writes something down quickly and swiftly, and then the light begins to emerge from the piece of paper. Immediately, you see a lightning lance come out, sparking, and then she grabs onto it and chucks it straight at the goblin. And unfortunately, due to the line of fire situation, through the elven man. Let's see if they're able to dex out of this one. The elf is, so he'll take half damage, but the goblin gets immediately pierced through. 10d It's not 10d. 3d 10 plus 5. 22 points of damage. Immediately, you see the goblin gets hit as he's laughing. Goes through him. An electrical bolt fries the rest of his body, causing him to be knocked down dead. Honestly, there's no stopping that, even though she did not want to kill him. But magic. Goes through, hits and burns away the left hand of the elven man as he falls down to the ground unconscious. I'm not gonna have him die, mainly because he's saved, but he is unconscious, and anyone that wants to kill him can kill him.
Alright.
But the goblin doesn't get that choice. Lit gets back up. Basically then states, "What?"
I love that. What?
Unfortunately, he's not close enough to attack without injuring you guys, so he just gets back into the fray. Let's see here. Wen would take out her holy weapon. Let's see. It seems that the enemy on this side is taken care of, so she'll come through this way. Unfortunately, though, because she did not know, as she stepped into that square, the enemy agent that disappeared crawls out from under the ground, grabs onto her feet, and immediately binds some sort of damage into her left leg.
A cockroach!
Kinda. Dealing 10d6 points of necrotic damage.
Oh. Wait, she's a celestial, so doesn't that do like half? Or am I mistaken?
It can. Doesn't have to. And she might not be full celestial, you really don't know. But normally, yeah, you're right. The woman, however, binds the damage into her. She is hurt. Wen's not doing so great with her left foot, but she's not dead. She now has to make a status effect roll. 5, even with her modifiers. Wen's leg begins to... Klee, you can understand this because you use necrotic damage all the time. Her skin and her veins are becoming blackened with necrotic
Oh no.
energy.
Ew.
You literally are a cockroach. My god. Not you, Wen.
You called one a cockroach. Wow.
I'm talking about the literal woman who is underneath our legs right now.
Natural
Garbage
20,
man.
when even with her problem for the future.
Oh,
Strikes down at this individual and does 23 points of damage. He is hurt, he is now bloody thanks to Wen, but he is still alive. The enemy agent leader.
What? Roxanne wanted you to play your fucking game. Continue.
Okay. Enemy leader then looks towards you. Realizes that what happened. Let's see here. He would consider Locke highly dangerous, but Wen just did that to his men after sustaining a good amount of damage. So he'd probably consider Claire or Violet the weakest ones, and he would go for the weakest ones.
Oh!
But I attacked you.
Hey, Courtney. Hey, Courtney, I'm gonna message you something. I want your opinion. Okay?
Sure.
With a plume of smoke, he then does the exact same thing beforehand, coating the area with enough, I would call it invisibility, but really he's just smoking, that it coats your eyes for a split second. You blink to wash it away, and he's no longer there. In the aftermath, he gets between Klee and Violet.
Hi.
Oh, you dumb bitch.
Oh, you've been drinking some dumb bitch juice.
Grabs a weapon from his right hand, grabs a weapon from his left hand. Well, left side, right side. Goes directly towards Klee and Violet, and... Let's see, first one, then the other. I'm assuming 12 and 15 don't hit either of you.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. Unfortunately, though, the effect of the blades still take effect. So, Klee Dex, Violet Strength. Saves.
is racist.
Could be.
Why
Oh
is
my
she?
fuck.
Why do I have to do strength? So mean. I have a 2 in strength.
I rolled a nat 1.
Oh my god, you did as well.
Okay. Plus 2. Cool. I got 2.
Oh my
Even
god.
with a nat 1, Klee technically still did better than you.
Oh my god.
He aims for his weapons to immediately at you. You dive and dodge to the left and right. However, a sparking bolt of electrical damage just arcs out and extends 15 feet out, and then burns in the area almost like an electrical storm. Klee, luckily enough, you did not take the damage of the blade. Great. But you forgot that some other people also have magical weapons. Not so great.
Oops.
Unfortunately, you guys aren't the only ones with those types of weapons. You take 2d8 plus 5 points of electrical damage. Luckily enough, I rolled low, so you take 9.
Oh.
She just disconnected. She's like, no damage. No.
Well, this is damage pool for Violet. Then immediately, Violet, you see the blade almost melt. Klee, you took 9 points of damage. Violet, you see the ground underneath your feet begin to melt and move in a almost fast-like motion. It begins to hit your feet. You try to stand your ground, try to hold yourself together, but it's not enough that you get hit immediately. Hit the ground, only take 1d6 point of damage, but you're now considered prone and have to eat half your movement to get back up.
Cool.
Yogg. Oh, wait, sorry. Dead. The knight with silver armor goes to try to attack Wen. With the modifier, he does hit 1d10 plus 8. Let's see here. It is radiant damage, so Wen doesn't really take that much. Goblin's dead. Goblin can't do a thing. Yogg.
Hello there. Okay, so, Dogma, I'm gonna send you something real quick. That person is currently right next to me, right? The, one who went underneath the ground.
Yes.
I would like to do that on her.
You can't.
What? Wait, what? I thought I could... Wait, what? I thought I could.
She's on the ground.
I thought she wasn't underground. I thought she had her still up in the air.
I'll just tell you why you can't. Incapacitated humanoid.
Incapacitate. Okay. Alright. Alrighty then. Alright. So, basically what I'm hearing is, fucker gotta be unconscious. Good to know. Let's do this.
Or
Alright.
dead.
Conscious necessarily.
Or
but-
dead. Ooh, or dead. Ooh. Okay. So, this person right here, is she still above ground or underground?
She swam up from underneath the ground. She's still there.
Okay. While she is right next to me...
You try it anyways and waste your turn.
No, please, no, please.
No, it's fine.
That was... I was mainly planning on doing that, so now I have to think. Fuck,
You can do what Klee does to everyone and slap him in the face.
Mm.
Toll of the Dead. The woman in the middle of us.
Has she taken any damage yet?
Yeah, she took damage earlier. Oh, wait, no, not her.
She took damage from me.
Everyone took
Mm.
damage at one point, thanks to Klee.
Yeah.
The man who basically, hit, these two. So, him.
Mhm.
He must make a wisdom saving throw.
There we go. Let's see. He has... Well, even with his modifier, he does not pass.
Alright, so he takes, it's like 3d12 now, right? Wait,
I
let me
believe
check, one sec.
so.
Let me just double check, I'm sorry. I had a different idea, in mind. Yep, 3d12. 3d12. And then with my, because he's hexed, correct?
Yes.
Ye- Wait, deferred. Okay, so that's d6 plus. I just need to make sure with my electrification. And I deal a flat. Okay. So 1d6 plus flat 5 damage.
All right.
Dude.
That is a 6. Emmy's for the smoking man. Who knows? Maybe smoking won't kill him. Maybe fire. You shoot immediately straight towards him, and you deal a good amount of damage. He's now considered bloodied, and he is, he thinks he's right. These two people are clearly the weakest ones. So he'll probably deal with you after he's done.
Get
Ha.
away from my daughter.
Clay. You think back,
He's
and
kidding.
obviously you're not his daughter. Lid already adopted you.
Yeah. Have a different dad. I'm using inflict wounds on the guy in front of me.
All right.
Just getting bitch slapped. Oh, that's plus 10.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
He does get slapped.
Ooh. Ooh.
Aiming straight towards him, you just slap him in the face as he's considering how to kill and make turtle soup. Tortoise soup? Who's to say? Immediately distracted, you slap him in the face and he takes a good amount of damage. He's not dead, but anything like that and he will be striking the ground and he will not get back up.
He'll be on death's door.
Long nap.
Death will be waiting, like, hey, babe, what's poppin'?
Don't ever, please.
No.
Death
yeah,
is
I'm never
not
doing that
from the 90s.
Hey, we don't know. Death. We don't know death.
Shut
okay?
up.
Okay.
Clee, any movement? Or bonus action? Okay.
Why are you like this, Will?
Oh.
Judgment aside, the woman with necrotic damage looks towards Clee and tries to grab her in the face. Clee, go ahead and roll athletics or acrobatics versus her athletics.
It doesn't matter because I have the same number in either. So.
Well, she rolled an 8. Beat an 8.
Okay, that should be fine.
I thought that was clean.
What did I just tell you, Clee? She grabbed your face and you're just looking at the man with the mohawk, just thinking to yourself, I did a great job. Get grabbed into the face and get taken 3d10 plus 3 points of necrotic damage.
I want to lick her palm as a reaction.
As a reaction, you lick her palm and she drops you. But unfortunately, it was going to happen anyway, so don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Because you
that's
licked her
fine.
palm, you now have to make a Constitution saving throw. Again, it was going to happen anyways. It's a lot more hilarious if it's your
Oh
fault.
my fuck.
Oh.
You hit the ground and immediately you feel a strange necrotic sensation wrapping around your face. For everyone else that can see, Clee's veins begin to pop out wherever you can see them above her feathers.
She's all feathers.
Which would be around her eyes and like close to her beak.
Ew.
It's not great.
Ooh, new texture.
Violet, after these guys, yeah, they would probably do the same thing and circle around attacking Violet.
Oh.
Does an 18 hit and does a 17 hit?
17, no, 18.
The last word I heard was 18.
18
Yes.
hits, 17 does not.
Okay, the tiefling woman with more humanoid figures except for the giant wings on her back shoots you with what appears to be a giant, you want to say hand axe, but it's more about the size of a dagger. She deals 1d10 plus 2 points of damage. So 7 points of damage, which is not a lot, but that's a big dagger. Okay,
That a hurting
Violet.
dagger.
Okay. So the person who hit me, I'm assuming is next to me.
They are 10 feet away.
The one with the dagger magic thing hit you was 15 feet. The one with the hurdy sword is next to you.
The boss with the weird blade is next to you at 5 feet, so next to you. The woman that just hit you is 15 feet away.
Okay, I'm gonna use my hurdy sword on the person next to me.
Okay.
Aka. 1 second. Can I please? Okay. Sorry, it's just not letting me type. I decided to do something. Alright. Here comes the rolling. Gaga!
Alright, that's a 24. That does hit.
Waiting for the Courtney.
Here is one. And here is the fire and the ice. Wow.
Oh my god.
And that's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
For the most part, at least.
Mhm.
With your blade, you manage to strike straight through and hit him with fire and ice. It begins to meld around his body, but unfortunately, you're too distracted, contemplating on not being stabbed, that you don't do a good amount of damage. It's okay, but they're
It
not.
happens to the best of us.
But they're not children with candy that you're trying to steal from,
Yeah.
as Violet would often do.
Yeah.
But hey, that was only a year ago. She's grown.
Yeah.
Violet, you just tip Violet upside down and candy's just pouring out of her.
Now she steals from adults. That's a different thing. Let's see here. She would have enough movement to get to the enemy silvered man, but not enough to attack with melee weapons, if she has one or not. Looking at the man, she then begins to say something in Celestial, which do you have? Probably not. I think we went through this before.
We went through this many a times. Wait, no, Clay knows Celestial, don't you, Clay?
No.
I thought you did.
Mm-mm.
Augie.
Well, if she did at one point, she hit her head hard enough that she forgot.
I can see
Yeah.
that happening.
Shut up.
Says the man that only knows merfolk language and common.
I can read every language. I just
Who
can't
cares?
speak the language.
Locke
I
begins to
can-
speak
I
in
have comprehend languages.
Celestial, and the man begins to speak back. Wen is surprised that she can speak Celestial, but doesn't say anything. However, she communicates with Wen, and something of a plan begins to formulate. That being said, they speak to him in unison, and he shakes his head no. You're not exactly sure what's happening there. She sighs, and Locke begins to write something on her book again. Immediately, looking back at Violet, you see that she's looking at you, Violet, but more at your hands. She begins to continue to write, and afterwards, you see her hands produce what her piece of paper produce what appears to be the exact weapon you have in your own arsenal.
That's my sword.
see here. 1d10 plus 10 because she doesn't have the same modifier as you. She does hit. She does strike straight through, and it does hurt. It definitely does hurt. But let's see how much it hurts. With any luck, it's a little bit more than what Violet did.
That's oof.
Well, at first glance, and quite literally at first glance, it does do immediately more than Violet's 2 damage pools together.
Oh.
And then...
Oh my god.
You're better with my young weapon.
She basically throws it at him, though. It pierces into his flesh, and then as soon as it does the damage, it looks like a piece of paper burns away. Similar to how Lit basically cremated those guys not too long ago. It could be similar type of magic, or it just has the same effects. However, you can tell that this man is bloodied and is not doing too good. Another attack like that would likely take him out. Similar to the boss, similar to these two, the silver-haired woman seems to be more or less fine, but maybe bloodied at this point. Let's see here. Tarja was able to move, but not enough to actually do a thing. Lit sees that there are enemy agents on the other side and goes for them, giving the enemy leader an attack opportunity. He brings both blades straight towards him. That's not a good amount of damage, but he does do some damage to Lit. Let's see here. He'll have to roll strength. Unfortunately, he trips, eats half of his movement, and is barely able to get here. Actually, that'd be half his movement, so he was here before. 15. No, he can get there still. Good.
He just can't run over and be like, "Hi, I'm gonna run back now."
Yeah. So if he tried to leave, he can't anymore. But luckily enough, no... Oh... You put those guys in the back, so he can't AoE
Go.
anyone.
He can't go boom boom.
But he can do it this way. Aiming straight towards her, he brings out what appears to be a giant fireball in his hands, and then shoots it out straight towards her. It turns into a vacuum-like... how when you have water in the sink and it begins to spiral into it, but in the opposite direction, straight towards the woman, turning into a horizontal funnel. Tornado, if you will. It hits her and begins to burn. She now has to make a dex, +3. +3 is not enough. That's 5d10. That's 27 points of damage. She still stands, and then immediately falls down to the ground. Magic can't save her from not dying, so she's dead. Looks towards the other woman, but just looks at her because he can't do a thing.
He just does his famous smile of
in the meantime, Tail will come over here. Wen will try to slash this man in the face.
Doesn't Tail proc an opportunity attack?
I'm getting there. Let's see, that's 2d10 because of that, +5. Oh, world low.
Oh. Tail.
No, that's Wen. Wen
Oh,
managed to
okay.
strike the silver-armed entity, but he looks at that store, but not from Wen. As soon as Tail leaves the area of attack from the silver-haired woman, you see her go directly towards him with her hands. Let's see here. It's not a good enough amount of damage, but she can't do any status effects on a reaction. So that's good for him, but it still hurt. Yogg.
Hello there.
Okay. So, do I go for Eldritch Blast that guy again, or do I try and stop the woman in there who's just like grabby hands? I'm going to use Eye Blight. Wait. Let me just double check real quick. I'm sorry. I'm really bad at spells like this. Nope, never mind. I'm going to just use Eldritch Blast again on the man. This time, screaming, "Get the fuck off my daughter!"
That does hit, and it's a strange thing to say.
Well, I'm saying, like, get off my daughter, because, you know, she's my daughter.
You're not on me.
I mean, stop it. You know what I mean. Like, hey, get away from my daughter.
Go ahead. That does hit.
Okay, fuck, it's been so long since I've used Eldritch Blast. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, like 5 seconds.
I haven't used... I haven't damaged anyone with... It's like a
3d10.
3d10 plus the flat damage as well. Of each beam. Each beam causes 5 damage each flat. Huh.
Aiming straight for the...
Plus Hex.
Mm-hmm. The leader, right?
The leader.
Aiming straight for the individual that you consider the leader, or at least the guy that talks more. You shout something akin to anger and maybe helicopter parenty. You strike straight at them with an Eldritch Blast, one after the other. Soon enough, he does hit the ground and you continue to attack and send one final Eldritch Blast at his face. And once again, mentioning before, magic is really hard to control non-lethally.
Could I look down at the woman and say, "You're next," or no?
That's a free action, but you can't intimidate her if that's what you're
Yeah,
looking
I'm just gonna go look down and say, "You're next."
for. Okay. Clee.
Okay. So. Huh. Okay. Necrotic damage doesn't work.
Or is not as effective.
Oh. Oh, fuck. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if I take a ranged spell attack, it'll be a disadvantage. Ah, fuck it. I'm gonna move away a little bit.
Okay.
Like here. So she can take an attack of opportunity on me.
She'll try to swipe with her hands.
Uh-huh.
Without actual effects to them, it's just 1d8. 6.
Nice. And I'm gonna use Guiding Bolt on her.
Okay. If it matters, the damage pool is necrotic.
Yeah. It doesn't. Okay. So, Guiding Bolt with a 5th level spell slot. That's... ish. That probably doesn't hit.
That, surprisingly enough, does hit.
Oh!
Oh, so she's low to hit. Well, low.
She hurts hard, but, easy to hit.
Glass.
Easier to
Glass cannon.
hit. No. The glass cannon was the goblin.
Oh.
Alright. Aiming straight
Yes,
towards
sir.
her, you do strike with a good amount of damage. She's not dead, but she is considered 75% health. So she's not exactly the sturdiest person. In fact, she's pretty thin. You would not expect her to be a fighter. Maybe a model.
I do this gang work as a side job.
Before she sells you any tea supplements, Clay, anything else?
Tea?
No, that's it.
Okay. I can see Yogg falling for those tea scams on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flat tummy tea.
Thank you. I completely forgot about the name.
I can't even drink flat tummy tea because all this is shell.
Shut up.
All natural. The woman looks towards you, Yogg. She's already status effect. Wen and Klee. So she'll try to go for you as well, which is not impossible to do against you. Let's see here. She probably won't try to grab you. Nah, she'll do the same thing. She'll probably try to pierce through the veil of your shell. Go ahead and roll athletics or acrobatics.
I know one is higher than the other. Oh, I have 3.
Oops, that's a 3. Nothing. Beat an 8. Cool. Luckily enough, you don't get grabbed by her, which is great, because you still don't know what that does. But that does not eat up her action. That just eats up the status effect thing. So with the motion in hand, she does go, instead of trying to grab you, just slice at you. Let's see, with her actual attack, that is +8. Does a 15
Nope.
hit? Cool. She tries to attack, but luckily enough, does not hit. Violet.
Yay, my turn.
Fire turn!
In the distance, you just see the woman with amber hair attacking Lit. Neither here nor there.
Okay, who's around me right now, P?
Silver hair. Oh, sorry.
The enemy around you seems to be a woman with silver hair 10 feet to the north, a woman with amber hair 10 feet to the south, and a man with silver armor 15 feet away.
I really like silver.
I hit armor boy.
I just accidentally chose these.
They're the silver bandits. Or whatever you want to call
I hit silver armory boy with firebolt.
Okay.
it. Oh.
Dude.
Cool, that does hit.
Oh.
No one has bothered to attack him, so I didn't have to tell you what his AC was. I will tell you that it's a 15.
Oh, so you just hit him.
Cool.
Interesting. Taking into account Wen and Locke attacking him and Tarja as well, you just, I'll just say this happens. Tarja manages to get him to a headlock, not really sure when this happened. Violet, you see that he is not being able to move. You lock in and go ahead and roll another 3d10. Not bad. This is one of Tarja's teamwork effects, which is great. She pins him down and you immediately blast, and with a concursive aftershock, you blast again. After the storm that he weathers, he thinks, oh, great, I managed to survive this, and then immediately gets pelted with more flame. He hits the ground, and like most things that get hit with fire, enough to kill them, does not get back up. However, Tarja is still has him in a headlock, so he's dead. He's just in her hands. What a way to go.
Brilliant way.
Locke just is semi-saddened by this. This does eat up Tarja's turn, so all she can really do is move. Locke then turns towards Lit, says in common, do you want me to help? Oh yeah, sure, if you want. She comes over towards him. She brings out her parchment, writes something down, and then you see chains begin to emerge from the lock. Not lock. Paper. Alright, so
Oh.
immediately they wrap around the woman, and she hits the ground, completely tied up. Lit on his turn then goes, "Oh yeah, this makes it a lot easier." He stands this way, and then immediately burns the ground asunder, causing
Oh
a
my God.
large gash 20 feet this way. Burns the rest of it all the way up to the wall. And then the woman is no longer there by the end of that.
Oh.
Let's see. Wen would go over here, swipe at the woman. 12 plus her modifier does hit. Let's see, that's 1d10 plus 8. 7 points of damage. She does seem to be hurt and is closer to half her health, but maybe at 58%. Tail would come over now that he's dead. He wouldn't use his very dangerous book, but he'd grab a dagger from Violet's many stashes of random daggers.
Like, wait, where did that go?
With his +3, he's not proficient in daggers, so unfortunately he does not hit. Enemy leader's dead, so are the acting agents. Oh, actually, I need to roll 3 death saves for the man that's unconscious.
Oh.
Passed 2, failed 1. Yogg.
Oh, hi. I'm going to use Eldritch Blast on this woman. Oh no. Fucking hell! That's 2 natural failures!
You aim for the woman. Then you realize, oh wait, I'm not supposed to attack Tarja anymore. So you skew too far to the left that it just hits the ground next to Tail. Any movement?
Nah.
Clee.
Bitch is getting guiding bolted again.
Oh! I wonder if she
Hey.
realized that she would get fucking ganked up today.
Yeah, it's gonna be another 5th level spell slot because I still have one of those. Okay. Double damage.
Double damage or double the dice?
16 being 6s.
Oh!
Have fun.
Pew.
Oh! Fucking hell. That nasty!
So, as you begin to take aim, you see Yogg just shoot on the ground next to Tarja. You're not sure what that's about. However, taking aim and taking for precision, you lock and load. I'm gonna say it fits well with the police theme. She pretends she has some sort of crossbow/gun in her hands and takes aim, much like a child would, with a squirt gun. She then locks the trigger and then immediately releases it. In that instant, a massive amount of damage circulates the area, disappears within 5 inches of her, and it immediately blows the rest of her body to sunder.
Oh, so she's in pieces now, is what I'm hearing.
Thematically, she's not alive. She's still in one piece, but that's how it looked in Clee's head.
Okay. So is she unconscious, dead, or?
She's dead. Maybe her right hand is completely disintegrated, but the rest is still intact.
Huh. Is that everyone?
You remember this guy is still alive.
Alright.
Violet.
Me, let me do it. Let me do it.
The
Okay, who
man
is
that's
alive?
He's unconscious but still alive at 35 feet away from you.
Whee! Fireball.
Fair enough. He's not a good guy. They mentioned that. Go ahead and roll again. He's unconscious. You would have some type of advantage.
Yeah.
17 does hit. Okay. Because he's unconscious, it honestly just takes a certain amount of damage just to kill him off. He failed one saving throw, so as you tack him and pierce his flesh, much like what's it called? Much like an executioner, he hits the ground. Unfortunately, he can't plead for help. But much like Klee, you take aim in a almost gun-like fashion, shoot, lock your pistol, and then take aim and fire. It pierces through his flesh. You get a whole white background, silhouetted body hitting the ground in a massive amount of force. And
KO!
maybe not so Street Fighter. Hitting the ground and now dead.
This is almost as satisfying as my mime career.
Well,
Oh,
that
also,
everyone?
which one of them had the weird blade thingy?
That would be the captain next to you, 5 feet.
I'm taking it. Mine.
alright, so. Is everyone okay?
I just realized Violet always takes a pointy weapon.
You do.
Is everyone okay?
Yeah. About down to half health, but I've managed before.
I'm so proud of you.
Klee, how are you doing? When, I'm guessing the same goes for your leg.
It's not doing so great, no.
How do we fix them?
Alright. I want everyone to hold hands. Or hold up hands for this part. I can technically get an answer from this one.
I'm pointing to the woman literally missing an arm.
Was she the one who did it?
She's the only one who was underneath the ground grabbing people. I can either do it one of two ways. One, bring her back to, air quotes, life. And make her answer some questions.
No, we're not doing this again.
Or I could enthrall her, take your pick.
No.
I mean, you can always just Greater Restoration or Restoration, see which one works on people.
I don't have those. Do you have those spells?
Not today, but maybe tomorrow. Or I can just summon something that does. Either way works.
Either way.
I mean, if you enthrall though, does that even let them answer your questions?
It means they answer every question, they do what I say. Think of it like a servant.
But does it specifically say they can communicate?
Yes, they can communicate to me, and I can telepathically communicate to them, and back and forth.
I mean, if you want to, I guess you can. I don't care.
I mean, it's the free way of saving our friends. Granted, it's a little bit fucked up.
Cute.
Alright.
I'm going to go to the woman who's missing an arm. And she's proper dead, right? Not death save, just bleh.
Yes. Klee did not leave any chance of that.
Would my thing work then?
Maybe.
What was that, Michaela?
What?
I
Why
can
are you
enthrall.
trying? Whatever. Do whatever
Because
you want.
if I do that, I can get her information, right? And figure out what the fuck she did to you.
Just dropped in my face.
Yeah, but she did something to you. You got veins popping out of your face. And Wen's leg looks like, no offense, Wen, but it looks like an actual undead creature's leg right now. I'm
Be
sorry.
fine. Just but a flesh.
Can you read? Can you show me the description of this thing, please?
Sure. Where are you? Here you are.
Just but a flesh wound.
There you go.
Well,
Oh, it's incapacitated.
yes.
So, and she's not alive.
You need to learn read everything. Fucking.
Well,
I mean, there was that elf that Violet killed, but hey, he deserved it.
Well, that's everyone then.
Yep. Did.
We'll need to get rid of
L-
restoration.
I
Lock-
want to touch the veins on Clee.
You begin to touch her face.
Poke me veins.
So yeah, poking veins aside, Locke then looks towards Lit. Do you want me to help them? Oh, I mean, if you
I
can.
like water balloons full of life juice.
Looking at those two playing with Clee's face by poking it, Locke then states, should I do it soon? It seems to be messing with their minds. Oh no, they're always like this.
They are. I can confirm.
I want to pop it.
Please
Unfortunately,
fix
you
it
can't.
now before she pops anything.
Wen then comes over towards Locke. Do you mind doing it to me first, before you try to do it to her? No, it's not a problem. Lit then states, so what exactly are you going to do, huh? Oh, well, beforehand, when I saw all of you here, remember when I took out the piece of paper and quill? Yes. Well, I was sketching out your forms, and so I have a blueprint on how you guys were before the attack started. What does that mean? Basically it means I can restore you back to a point in time where I saw you.
Cool.
Oh.
Mm.
That actually would be useful. Oh, completely! Okay, do you want me to try it on you, miss? Oh, when, dear? Oh, nice to meet you, miss, dear. Oh, no, just...
So good. So cute.
I swear to God.
She
How could someone be this wholesome?
She then begins to inscribe the picture that she pulled out beforehand, writes it out, and then you see Wen begin to get rid of some of the scratches and bruises. The leg begins to be reknit, reworked. The darkened parts begin to leave the skin. Eventually, she does revert back to the way she was beforehand. But the way she was beforehand was a little bit more hurt. But with a short rest or a long rest, she would be fine.
Cool.
Luckily enough, she saw Clee when she got a short rest. So, she would actually be a lot healthier. Looking at Clee, she then looks towards Wen. Wen nods, and she begins to do the same thing towards Clee. But for simpler terms, I'm just going to say, go ahead and roll any health dice you have left. But the status effect is now gone.
I don't need to heal. I mean, I kinda do, but I still have like 9 health. So, I'm good.
Lit then goes, hey, can you show me how to do that? I'm sorry, but my patron's the only one that can teach you. Patron,
Why
you
did-
say?
Why did you say that?
Yes?
Okay, lit. I kind of put my I put my hand on his shoulder. Lit. Don't do this now. Do it maybe
Bertrand.
later.
Locke then states, I mean, before I can tell you anything else, we do need to get rid of these, bodies. It's not ideal to have, this type of smell in the area. Unfortunately, there are predator birds in the area, so we might not want to have decaying forms here. Not Tail. Lithin states, "Oh, don't worry about that. I have my own way of getting rid of bodies." Locke, thinking it's a joke. Lit does not joke.
Before you get rid of them, they did mention a gang before, remember?
I mean, if you want to take down a criminal organization, we can take on another one, I guess.
I
I
mean, I
don't
would
care. Get rid of him.
get rid of them.
Okay. Does anyone want to steal some of their, procure some of their items before they
I
go
took
away?
ours.
I'm going to the woman here, and I'm just gonna see what she has. Any spells, any scrolls, anything.
Looking at her body, you do see that her left hand, because the right one's completely gone, does seem to be wearing dark gloves. You remove those, and you see skeleton form underneath them. Probably why she was so thin.
You're nasty.
Feel personally attacked.
Other than that, hey, unless your left hand is a full skeleton, deal.
Well,
Fair enough. Other than that, she does not have anything else except for her clothing and a nice dark cowl.
Dark what?
Ow.
Hoodie, cloak,
Oh.
Yeah.
I just. What do you think, Violet? Do you want this or no?
I has cloak I got from the royal bitch.
Clee, what about you?
I have displeasure.
Anyone want a cloak? Anyone?
I would say
It's gonna
wear-
get this.
it might as well, I suppose.
I mean, it's gonna get destroyed anyway, so I had to do it.
Okay. She now has a black cloak, which means that she will get a different look next session.
Hell yeah!
Oh, I should probably get Lit's pink shirt in there too.
Oh shit! I forgot he was wearing that.
Yeah.
Other
Than that, most of them just have plain, typical items, except for the blades Violet stole. Tuck,
Who is eating the chips?
the man with silver armor.
Are the chips still intact?
There's like crumbs left.
Oh.
What's special about the blades?
Oh, the blades seem to
blades.
have a strange status effect in the area that, once every short rest, if you're able to attack and strike, but either take damage or not, they're basically daggers or a short sword, depending on what you want to use. It all depends on the wielder. So it can be a dagger or a short sword. They just can't be any bigger than that, or smaller. However, the stat effects go whether you hit or not once every short rest. You can do 2d8 plus 5 electric damage to a individual within a 15-foot line. Regardless if you hit or not. And the other one does must make a strength save of 12. Not 12, sorry. That's the dex save of 12 for the electric blade. Must make a 15 strength save or fall prone and take 1d6 point of damage. In a line of 15.
Cool. Oh, this is fun.
In the meantime, Lit begins to burn the bodies away, and much like paper, they waft into the night. Lit then goes towards, it doesn't go towards, but states towards Locke. Now then, now that that's all taken care of, what are you gonna do with the, things in the cage? Oh, well, Tarj is gonna train them to make sure, and I'm gonna speak with them to make sure they don't attack anyone they don't need to. Unfortunately, they've had some abuse in their lives that I'd rather not have them take out on anyone that doesn't deserve it. So I'm gonna speak with them in my therapy sessions and Tar's just gonna make sure that they're able to hold their strength back.
And what about Thomas over there? I haven't heard him. I haven't heard him or seen him move at all since this entire thing. Are you sure it's alive?
Yes. He doesn't have a mouth though, so he doesn't speak.
How does it eat then?
Oh, he consumes metal.
Booty hole.
And he's in a cage.
He's very polite.
How many cages has he eaten?
Well, we give him a cage once every 2 days.
That's pretty costly. That must take a lot of money from you.
It's not a cage, the one he's in, like smaller cages for like, birds or, maybe a horse, if he's feeling very hungry.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you want to do now, you two? The friends.
End session.
Yeah.
End session.
End
End
session.
session.
Lit
Sorry,
then looks
sorry.
towards her. Yeah, that's basically what I was gonna wind up doing. Lit then looks towards her and simply states, "All right then. That being said," looks towards Clay, looks towards her. "You look an awful lot like our friend. Should I be concerned about that? Because we had have trouble like that in the past, like yesterday. I don't think so." As we end the session for today.